Did you know that the foods you eat every single day can either throw your hormones out of balance or gently restore them back to health? If you've been battling fatigue, mood swings, sleepless nights, or just feeling off, then you're not alone. But here's the good news. God designed your body with wisdom, and He also provided the foods to help your hormones thrive. In today's episode, we're going to dive into 5 powerful God-given foods that naturally balance your hormones. These aren't gimmicks, they are whole foods backed by science and rooted in God's creation. Let's dive in. Are you struggling with stubborn belly fat, brain fog, or low energy? Do you want simple, lasting health solutions that actually work and honour your faith? Hi, I'm Laura Hargrave, Master Certified Nutritionist, best-selling author, and health coach with over 20 years of experience helping believers like you go from tired and stuck to vibrant, lean, and spirit-led. In this podcast, I blend biblical wisdom, science, and a less is more approach to help you burn fat, boost energy, and restore your body as God's temple. So grab your green tea or your walking shoes and take a few minutes to grow in wisdom that will bless you for years to come. Welcome to Health in Faith. So I've got a free gift for you. If you've been struggling with sugar cravings or low energy or feeling stuck in that cycle of needing the next sweet fix, you know the story, I want you to know there's a better way. I've created the Sugar Detox in Faith plan. 7 simple steps for Christians to reduce sugar and quit sugar addiction for good whilst still enjoying sweet foods. So this plan is going to help you to break free from sugar dependence without feeling deprived because you can still have sweet foods, enjoy natural, satisfying sweet treats without any guilt, and most importantly, make changes that align with your faith and honour the body God gave you. It's completely free and you can grab it right now at healthinfaith.com. So head over to healthinfaith.com, download your Sugar Detox in Faith plan and start your journey to more energy, better health and freedom from sugar in faith. So in today's episode, we're talking hormones, and I want to share a story from one of my clients, Clara. She's a woman in her late 40s, and she is really typical of so many women I work with, okay? So perimenopausal, and she came to me completely fed up with her hormones. She said, Laura, I just want to feel like myself again. That's a phrase I hear often. I don't feel like myself. I don't know what's going on. My memory, tired, mood swings, hot flashes, sleepless nights, and she felt like her body, in her own words, felt like her body was working against her. What a horrible place to be, not to feel like yourself and to feel as if your own body is working against you. Maybe you can relate. I know so many women, especially who I work with, who that's what they say to me. So Clara's like really typical of that woman. She also had severe constipation, which had been going on for several years, and it was really getting her down and just affecting her whole life in a negative way. She tried all sorts of supplements and diets, but nothing seemed to help. And to be honest, just as a side note, a lot of the kind of perimenopausal, menopausal supplements are overpriced and don't work. Some of them work, but most don't. And maybe that's a topic for another episode. But together, we started focusing on simple, nourishing foods, just like real whole foods that God created. Now, there are, even within God's creation, simple foods, there are foods that don't help hormones. So I'll give you an example. Spinach is a food that I wouldn't recommend really very much because of the oxalate content. And I've mentioned oxalates before, and I am going to do a whole few episodes on this. So oxalates are what's called anti-nutrients. So there are foods out there which contain anti-nutrients, hormone disruptors, so lectins, oxalates, phytoxenoestrogens, those type of things, which again I'll cover in other episodes. But there's groups of foods that God created that are really beneficial for hormone health. So I put her on a really hormone nourishing diet, and within 2 weeks, she noticed her energy returning, her sleep started improving, And her mood became much more stable, not fluctuating up and down. And she told me, I feel hopeful again. That's amazing, isn't it? This is a Christian lady, like fervent in her faith. And she said she felt hopeful again. That I love to hear that kind of story, because my desire, like my manifesto for the work I do, is to help Christians thrive in their God-given power through natural health strategies. So it's like, wow, yes, I'm on mission when I hear that type of thing. So her story is a reminder that you're not alone, and there is a way forward, whether you're struggling with low energy and hormone balance or imbalance or anything else. The fact remains that God has designed your body with wisdom, and he's provided the foods to help you thrive, even through menopause and hormonal struggles. And let me remind you what Psalm 139 verse 14 says. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and my soul knows it very well. So our hormones are part of God's marvellous work, and his marvellous provision includes the foods that support them. So let's then look at 5 foods that are going to help balance your hormones. So the first food is flax seeds. Flax seeds are rich in what's called lignans, which are beneficial phytoestrogens that can gently modulate and support estrogen activity, which is helpful for both men as well as women, but especially for women, helpful for menstrual cycle regularity, PMS, and also perimenopausal symptoms, and potentially supporting estrogen detox balance as well. Flaxseed has also been shown to potentially benefit the SHBG, which is sex hormone binding globulin, which can help balance free estrogen and testosterone levels. So the important balance between estrogen and testosterone. So in essence, flaxseed can be a really good food to support PMS, menopause, and everyday hormone balance. It's also high in soluble and insoluble fibre, which is great for gut health and supporting regularity. So going back to my client Clara, flaxseed enabled her. It's one of the strategies we use to help her go from severely constipated to regular in a matter of a couple of weeks, and she hasn't looked back. The other last benefit I want to talk about with flax seeds is what's called ALA. This is an omega-3. It's not the best form of omega-3. Fish is the best form of omega-3 in my view, and we'll talk about fish in a minute. But ALA can support cardiovascular health as well and can help reduce inflammation. So in terms of how do you have flaxseed, my recommendation would be just try sprinkling. You only really need like a tablespoon every couple of days. So try sprinkling a tablespoon in smoothies, your oatmeal, yogurts, any of those types of things. So the second food that can support hormone balance is the humble avocado. That bizarre looking green fruit is packed full of healthy fats, and it's in particular monounsaturated fats, which can really help support hormone production and can help stabilize blood sugar and insulin, which is important for balanced sex hormones and cortisol, as well as overall metabolic health. And without enough healthy fats, including monounsaturated fat, then our bodies go into kind of stress mode. So all these low fat diets that so many women in particular went on in the 80s, 90s, 2000s are wreaking havoc with hormones. And one of the best ways to start overcoming that is with enough fat. And I'm talking monounsaturated fats, saturated fats as well, and a variety of other types of fats. But in particular for hormone balance, then avocados are really good. They also are good for heart health. So you can add avocados to your salads, that's the obvious one. You can add them to smoothies or make a lovely, delicious guacamole at home. So they really are versatile. And what I found for my clients that say, oh, I don't like avocado, if you add them into smoothies and make a lovely, delicious chocolate avocado pudding by blending an avocado with some cocoa powder, cacao powder, maybe a banana, a date or two, and a bit of milk, then that makes a wonderful chocolate pudding. If you've not tried this, Give it a try this week, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. The third food that will support hormone health is a group of foods which are cruciferous vegetables. So we're talking in particular broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, those types of things. Now, cruciferous veg can help support your liver to detox excess estrogen. So if you have too much estrogen, then cruciferous veg really should be your go-to food. They contain what's called glucosinolates, and that supports the metabolism of estrogen and detoxification. Cruciferous veg can also reduce bloating, irritability and stubborn weight, believe it or not. Who'd have thought that by adding broccoli to your evening meal it can reduce irritability? Well, possibly a bit. It's not going to take away the whole problem, but it can support mood, can support reducing bloating and stubborn weight. It can also help with liver detoxification enzymes, which are involved in hormone balance. General other benefits of cruciferous veg are plentiful, so they're high in fibre, high in vitamin C, vitamin K, folate, and a thing called sulforaphane, which is particularly high in sprouted broccoli. So I often sprout broccoli seeds and harvest them after about 7 days, really, really high in this thing called sulforaphane, which is an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. Many people who I've worked with in the past, and many people I know generally, have broccoli sprouts as part of an anti-cancer strategy. Fourth food to help support hormone balance is salmon or any other wild and fatty fish. So I'm talking fish that are rich in omega-3s, which salmon in particular is, which help reduce inflammation and can also support your hormones, your thyroid and adrenal glands. It can also help calm cortisol, which, as I'm sure you're aware, is your stress hormone. Salmon and oily fish is particularly high in what's called EPA and DHA omega-3s. So we talked about flaxseed earlier. Flaxseed isn't a source of EPA and DHA, but fish is. Really, really good in helping to reduce inflammation that can drive PMS cramps, acne, and perimenopausal and postmenopausal joint pain. So yeah, fish is so good. Also really good for brain health, cardiovascular health, mood support. So really, my recommendation would be a couple of portions of salmon or other oily fish per week. Better to have it wild caught rather than farmed. It's better quality and not given kind of GMO feed potentially. So it's also high in good quality protein and vitamin D. So do go ahead and have oily fish a couple of times a week for dinner, for lunch, on a weekly basis. So the fifth food that can help support your hormone balance is cinnamon, so a spice. Now, little caution with this, cinnamon does have some oxalates in, so try it out. For some people, they absolutely love cinnamon. It's a nice flavour, isn't it? And can really support insulin stabilization and blood sugar, and can help kind of improve energy and mood. For other people, they don't do so well with it. So just try it out for yourself, see how you go. But cinnamon has been shown to improve insulin receptor signaling and slow gastric emptying. And that can help reduce those post-meal glucose spikes. And when we have more stable glucose, so stable blood sugar and insulin, then because insulin is like one of the main hormones in the body, it can support overall hormone balance. If your blood sugar is out, then it's naturally going to affect all the other hormones. It's just a reality. So we want to make sure, if we're talking hormone balance, we want to make sure that our blood sugar, insulin, glucose are pretty steady, no big spikes and troughs. Cinnamon is also pretty good at helping to curb excessive appetite and cravings. When we have better glycemic control and can reduce blood sugar and craving, when we have better glycemic control, then again, that can positively affect cortisol rhythms and mood and stop these mood-related and hormone imbalance-related food cravings for things like sugar and carbs. So yeah, cinnamon can be a really helpful strategy in that. Other general benefits of cinnamon is that it is an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, which can help combat oxidative stress implicated in metabolic and other disease, so things like cardiovascular disease. Cinnamon is so versatile, isn't it? So you can sprinkle it on smoothies, you can have it in coffee, you can put it on oats, yogurt, anything like that. So yeah, cinnamon would be the fifth food that I recommend for hormone balance, with the precaution, try it out because it does contain some oxalates. So if you do struggle with cinnamon in any way or wish to avoid oxalates completely, then an alternative to that would be ginger. Ginger is also anti-inflammatory and can potentially help, especially things like period pain and prostaglandin modulation, and can help with nausea and insulin sensitivity. So ginger is the alternative to cinnamon. So here's what I want you to do in relation to those 5 hormone balancing foods. Why not pick just one of those foods? Let's keep it really simple. Pick one of those foods. So as a recap, we've got flaxseed, avocado, cruciferous veg, oily fish, and cinnamon or ginger. So pick one of them and start adding it into your meals. Simple, right? Small, faithful steps lead to lasting health. It really is a case of the small, faithful things rather than big grand gestures and then going back to unhealthy ways of eating. So yeah, hope this episode has blessed you. If it has, share it with a friend, share it with a Christian friend who's been struggling with energy, mood swings or cravings. And don't forget, if you want to dive deeper, I've got a free resource waiting for you, which is the Sugar Detox in Faith plan. I'll link that in the show notes. And remember, God has designed your body wonderfully. He really has provided foods to help you thrive. I know that firsthand from my own experience, going from an overweight smoker to lean and fit now in my late 40s. I feel really good as I'm moving into my late 40s, better than I've ever felt. And I know lots of people who have felt the same through these small, simple changes. So you don't have to settle for exhaustion or imbalance with your hormones or carrying around excess weight. With the Lord's wisdom and his provision, you can feel whole again. And if you want some support in doing that, I'd be more than happy to help you. So reach out to me. You can book a one-to-one metabolic breakthrough call where we'll go through this type of stuff. How to balance hormones, how to have more energy, how to lose excess weight, or any other health struggle. To be honest, over the last 23 plus years, I've seen it all. So I'm confident that if we get on the phone together for an hour, then I can really help move the needle for you and your health. And I'd be honored to do so. So reach out, book your one-to-one metabolic breakthrough call. Yeah, I'd love to help you improve your health and start moving towards your health goals by the end of this year. So do reach out at healthinfaith.com. I hope today's episode of Health in Faith blessed and inspired you. If it did, would you take just 30 seconds to leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts? It means a lot to me and helps others find this life-giving message. Snap a screenshot of your review and email it to me for your free copy of my popular recipe book, Temple Fuel, 40 healthy, high-protein meals to burn fat, energize your walk, and transform your health. Until next time, may God bless your body, your heart, and your walk with Him, and I'll see you back here next week.